All right, let's do it.
Let's go. Pass me that cutter, will you? Figure we take a little time, talk about whatever you want to talk about, dude.
Are we on?
Oh yeah, we're on, baby.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're just kind of chill.
So we'll set the stage for everyone. We're at the
first of all-
Hungry Herf. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay, so we'll set the stage for everyone. We're at the Hungry Herf 2 in Hubbard, Ohio.
Very excited to be
Which
here.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
why Hubbard? But once you get here, you realize why.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like we own the whole town. And that's really cool. It's a vibe. There's a fair going on across the street. Everyone knows each other. It's peace. This part of the country, you can drop your shoulders. It's not as stressful as some of the places that we're all from. It's a beautiful thing, and it's family. It's community. These are some of the first Pravada members that own this lounge, Sigaro, here in Hubbard. So, it's only right. They built Pravada and the LCA.
Yeah.
And now we build them too. So
the LCA started here?
no, it didn't start here, but these guys were some of the first Pravada members.
Okay.
And so when they started their lounge, of course, they became an LCA shop.
Yeah.
And then they told me how great it was, and I came up here and I was like, yeah, we're going to do this. Because I haven't been doing PravadaCon in Orlando the last couple of years. I just haven't. There's so much work to be done on the club, the Limited Cigar Association, the packaging, the details, the purchasing, the fulfillment, we're running a mini Amazon.
Well, and not to mention, like, when you do something that large, it's hard to get time with people.
That's the other thing, and that's something that always detracted me from doing events, was because I know all of these people intimately. I truly do.
Yeah.
Like, people, when I say that, people are like, yeah, bullshit.
Yeah.
I know these by email. I know these people. I've
Yeah.
exchanged hundreds of emails with, if there are a couple hundred people here, I've exchanged emails with at least 150 to 200 of them. And some of them have been multiple exchanges over years of time.
Yeah.
So, you grow and learn with people. And a lot of them are a big source of support for me. So I'm always answering those emails. And, you can't do that and everything else. And I think that's the most important foundation that I have.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we know the story, but your story, starting Pravada, like, you were just a cigar collector.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I got a lot. I got to get rid of these.
I was a cigar collector. I was a big reader of Half Wheel. I was a big reader of any cigar literature I could get my hands on. I was a big watcher of the Dr. Joe show.
Yeah.
I was a big watcher of Cigar Obsession for quite a long time. I was very passionate about cigars from the minute I got into it. I actually thought cigars were going to become extremely valuable for some reason. I mean, like, really valuable.
Yeah.
Like monetarily.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like wine,
Yeah.
and in some cultures, Southern California, places that, but it never really went mainstream like that. So I basically started to collect cigars, and then I started to want to figure out a way to smoke for free, basically. And so I created a club.
Yeah.
And no one understood. I realized very quickly, no one understood what makes a cigar special.
Yeah.
And so I started writing. I was a writer. I came from a songwriting background. So I was
wow.
writing about the cigars and trying to explain to them. I was trying to give you the experience of, like, if you smoke a cigar that Half Wheel reviewed, right, but then read the review while you're smoking it, plus had tasting notes, pairing notes, and more experiential stuff. Like, that was the experience I wanted people to have. And it did not take off quickly. Well, it actually did, but at the first 6 months were like a big loss. It was just like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And then I started to figure out how to market. And then it started to take off.
Yeah. That was one of the things that you told me, which, by the way, I can attest to you answer every email. You really do.
The emails I don't answer are, where's my tracking number? Where's it? I have someone else that does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Just wanted to take the time to say, welcome to the Bourbonist.
Yeah, that's right.
We are here with an extremely special guest. Brian, we've wanted you.
We've been doing this
since we
podcast
started
for
the
almost 3
podcast,
years.
really.
No
And-
one's told me they wanted me for a very long time. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Dude.
making a middle-aged guy feel good about himself.
That's what
I actually
we're
had
about.
all these dreams last night that like all these women were like coming on to me in front of my wife. And I was like, ladies, take it easy. My wife's right here. And I woke up and I was like, shit, that was amazing.
And then real life hit and went, wait, it's just guys.
It's just dudes that
Yeah,
want
it's
to.
all dudes. It's all, that's fine. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take any love I can get.
Yeah,
You know?
we've. I think it was shortly. Well, so
Shortly after
had
we
a-
started.
we actually had Joseph, who was here last year. We had a buddy named Joseph who is very good friends with Joe Kenny.
Yo,
In
Joe
fact,
Kenny's
Joe
my
Kenny
guy,
is
man.
Part
Yeah,
of our,
he's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, he's part of the.
So you guys
Bourbon.
are from St. Louis?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
so
Joe, let me tell you something. Joe is one of the best people I've met in cigars.
Yeah.
there's a reason why we
Yeah, I
invited
love
him
that
to
dude.
be a part.
I love that dude, and I won't say that I've tried to get him to work for me, but I have.
Yeah. Well, he
And-
worked for the
Cigar Public.
the Cigar Public.
I wouldn't work. He put in a lot of work, but it was like we were all kind of like chipping in, I guess. But I have legitimately like turned to him at times and been like, "Yeah, what would it take to get you?" And he was like, "It's my family business. I can't leave."
Yeah.
So okay, another honorable thing. He's just an honorable guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
And so, knowing him, we got to know him as like a friend, and
He's in good shape too. I'm always like when I
it's
meet guys in
ridiculous.
cigars, I'm like, "Hey man, this guy's in good shape over here."
Yeah.
No one's in good shape in cigars. Like it's like amazing.
Yeah.
he literally, like I don't know if you could tell, but I like going to the. We both do. We like going to the gym.
Yeah.
But like he keeps.
He's
on
got
it,
the
man.
thing, yeah, and
keeps
he
on it.
probably eats right too, right? 'Cause he's
Yeah,
cooking all his
'cause
meals and stuff. Yeah,
His wife's a phenomenal cook and
Well, and so
makes it all.
he's
We
got a
got-
big family too. He just introduced another member of the
Yeah,
family
number 6,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah, number 6.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
So family of 8.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
We
And
have
so-
one, and we're like, this is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
2 would be like overdoing it.
Yeah.
So what actually started it was before we knew Joe Kenny, our buddy Joe Hill, who actually introduced us, started off getting farm rolled,
Ah,
and then kind of introduced us to farm rolled, and then it was shortly after we started the podcast, you got a Privada subscription,
Yeah.
and that honestly became pretty much the staple cigar of every episode.
wow.
Yeah.
After about a year, yeah.
I don't know what I did to get so lucky. I can tell you this. Okay, so like I like to be a person who and I bet you there's a lot of people out there that think the complete opposite of me, but the truth is I like to think as globally as I possibly can and critically as I possibly can.
Sure.
I like to think about things from other people's perspectives because I really want to maintain a solid source of reality. I grew up with sociopaths and people that are mentally fucking ill.
Yeah.
And I always take it upon myself to make sure that I'm not going too far in one idea or only seeing my vision. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I will say this. I don't know how I got so lucky, but I also don't know anyone else that puts this much effort into a person's cigar experience.
Yeah.
The writing, the tasting notes, the pairing notes, the reviewing. There are a lot of people that do this in certain areas, but then it doesn't come with a product or it doesn't. So it is an experiential thing. Like I am proud of that, of what we've created in that sense. So I can understand how it happened, but I also understand that I'm the luckiest guy in the world that it connected with enough people to actually make it a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, I think there was there's only been one cigar that I've ever had that I was like, not the best. But I don't know if it was the humidification. It could have
He
been
doesn't-
so many different
I'm giving you
things.
36 cigars a year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Most companies can't put out 2. So
That's true.
I'm giving you 36 per year. You're getting the full write up on it. And I'm trying to diversify enough that at some point you're not going to like something because
Yeah.
we're going through the range of things. We're going through the range of vitolas and sizes. We're going through the range of countries. We're going through the range of blends. We're going through the range of ages.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really hitting on all cylinders. So there's
Right.
going to be some things that you're not going to like because it would become the Maduro 6x54 club if I didn't, take risk.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
and that's the LCA, by the way. The LCA is the opposite of the club. It's I am only doing a specific thing. Not all Maduro 6x54s, but there's a very specific thing that the general consumer in a cigar shop wants.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, I mean, I'd say that to say that it's the only one, and yet it was still impeccably made.
It's wonderful.
It was extremely smooth. Again, I've never had a
Yeah.
bad smoking experience with
Yeah.
a Privada.
Yeah. Wow.
And I've been doing it
3 years.
3 years.
Wow.
3 years, yeah.
So that's 3 years, 3 times 36. If I was any good at math, I'd know what that is. That's 72. That's over 100. Let's
So
just
yeah. I'm not good at that either. It's fine.
That's
Education is important, y'all. I just want to point that out. It's very important to do math.
We just did an
I
episode
think 108.
with my wife actually, and the cigar we did was the Purple People Eater.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
It's one of my
gosh.
faves.
Dude, it's so good.
Wait, so 6 times 3 is 18. Yeah, you're right. 108.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90 and
I
100.
came
Yeah.
from an exercise science major.
Yeah,
where the only thing
that's
I know
amazing.
how to count is plates
It only
and
took
reps.
us 2 minutes too.
Oh yeah.
So you said, "Can I ask you anything?" Well, come on, give me the good stuff here. I want the hard
Well,
questions.
No, the
So-
thing is, like, so people our people have been hearing about Brian from Privada.
Yeah.
And since we started it,
Yeah.
pretty much since we started smoking your stuff. And
Okay.
I think a lot of people are probably like, "Who's this Brian guy?" And so the whole point in this is we want people to get to know you. We want people to get to know your product.
So Brian is a guy who thought he was destined to be a famous singer-songwriter, and dedicated all of his life from like 15 to like 32. And I mean, I was always 1 inch away from a song on the radio. I was LL Cool J's protege for a couple of years. I've
kidding.
worked with Cash Money Records. I worked with Wyclef. I've worked. Scott Storch did my first demo. Like, these are big people during my time, and I was always like in the studio with amazing people. I just never got to get a song on the radio, and it was a heartbreaking thing.
Yep.
I come from a street type of background. I grew up half my life in New York and half my life in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is at the time was a pretty low life situation. Everyone's parents were on drugs, and it's like Rust Belt standard shit. A lot of fighting, a lot of not gang activity, but sort of grouped up kids
Yeah.
trying to hurt each
I've
other.
smoked a cigar before. I probably.
It's a good cigar. It's punchy. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I love that one.
So, are you a good fighter?
No, that's a great question, because I always think about it to myself, and I used to have dreams, like, growing up in that environment. I would have dreams where I was fighting. I still to this day, when I catch myself in thought, there's like fighting. There's always paranoid. Like, I grew up like that. Am I a good fighter? The truth is no, but I'll fuck somebody up, but I'll also fuck myself up in the process.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm I have trained in boxing. At this point, which I would never put my hands on someone at this age. I'm 47 years old. The last thing I ever want to do is put my hands on someone.
Sure.
And I always felt bad about it back then, unless they really deserved it.
Oh, sure.
Always felt bad. But I am much more skilled now. I was just a brute, like, like fucking bite. I'll do, it was just like, there were no rules
Yeah.
No.
to my style.
There's
of
not
fight.
rules to survival, dude.
Exactly.
There's no rules in a street fight.
Right. So, we used to try to impose rules. Like, guys would get into wrestling. And this was before MMA. So we'd be like, come on, man, break them up. Let's get them back on their feet. We wanted to see a boxing match.
Be a man, fight on your feet.
Dude, you shouldn't have to grow up like this. And then there were a lot of drugs. And I realized the older I get, the more I realize that the drugs were pushed on me even by my own family growing up. My dad couldn't wait till I was like 13 or 14 so he could smoke a joint with me. Which I don't think that's normal.
I don't think so. I mean,
And like he's a great guy, but my parents were like older sister, older brother, not like parents.
Yeah.
And I was on my own.
do you have young parents?
They weren't that young. I mean, they were probably 28 when they had me, so 30,
Okay.
30
Yeah.
in their 30s. Still, maybe today it's still young. Yeah, today I don't.
By today's standards, 100%.
But it was a whole different. It was a warped situation. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
God bless him. But and then so drugs became a big part of my life. I was able to function pretty well. Definitely got lost in painkillers for a while. Eventually was able to get out of that. Loved the for a very brief time the Xanax and all that stuff. I mean, this shit is. I'm a very mentally tough person. Even when I think I'm fragile, I'm not. These pharmaceuticals are impossible for most people to get off of, and so while I'm proud that I was able to get off of these things, it's I think it's biological. I think that's also luck that I have something in me. I also watched my mother get lost to heroin, so I never wanted to be a junkie.
Yeah.
So I would do these things. I was a rock star, guys. I mean, I traveled all this area in little old tour buses and stuff. Like, you guys remember Rehab? Bartender really did it this time. No,
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I was their opening act for a while.
No shit.
Yeah, like, I went all over the place, and everyone, you're expected to be a rock star, and drugs are a part of that. So it was always seemed recreational until you're alone after the tour and you're looking to get high, and you're like, fuck, I think I have a problem. I have no money, but I'm not worried about food. I'm worried about how I'm gonna get fucked up today. So that was something that I was able to get out of. I lived in a house with 5 guys. We all started doing Percocet at the same time. One of us is dead. Another one lives at home, I think, still to this day. Another one goes to NA, and another one is, I think he goes out. No one's going to know who these people are, so I'm not, like, putting someone's business out. Yeah, this is long. Yeah. And the other one goes to, what do you call those places? Methadone clinic every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he always had some problems, but yeah, man, my boy Kirch, man, we lost him in his sleep. He won a big settlement, and you can't give a person that has a drug problem money.
No.
You give them unlimited money, they'll be dead, and So I had to get out of music, and I was 31, and I realized after touring with Rehab and seeing some of the other people that were semi-successful in that business, how fucked up they were.
Yeah.
I said, well, the truth is, I came back from the tour and I was disappointed with a lot of things. But one of the things I was disappointed with was how much effing work it is.
Yeah.
You're 45 days of 10-hour drives, setting up, breaking down, merch selling, managing relationships, collecting emails, doing all this stuff. And I said, I'm run down. This will kill me. And by the way, if I put half this effort into a regular business, I'll be rich. I knew that instinctively.
Yeah.
So I said, the band doesn't want me back. They didn't want me back. They took me out with them. I was always innovative like I am in cigars, always a little bit ahead. So I had a band with LL Cool J, and it was a nightmare. We ate each other alive.
Yeah.
Okay? I wrote all the words. The one kid wrote all the music. We were all that was necessary. But he fell in love with the drummer. It was a female drummer. He fell in love with the drummer. The whole thing, everyone wanted equal parts. I'm like, equal parts of what? We had the record deal before we even met you guys.
Yeah.
So no offense, but like we'll give you a small percentage, but we're not going to. Today it's work for hire. Anyway, I said, there's no way I'm doing that again. What's the one part of a live band that I would miss? And I said, it's the drummer. It's certainly not the guitar player. They've ruined the guitar player and lead singer always. He can turn that knob up. I can't turn this up.
Yeah.
And they are always turning that knob up because they want the guitar player wants to be the lead singer.
Right.
Newsflash.
They want to be
The
show.
bass player's just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The drummer's like, whatever, man. Why can't you guys all get along? And then the guitar player and the lead singer are just like, no. It's me.
I'm
It's
in
my
charge.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your show. If it wasn't for me, So I said, man, the drummer's the only guy I'd miss. You could put an iPod, press play. He could drum over that and still give you that hit. And so I went out on tour with a drummer, and I would get on stage, and people would be like, what the fuck is this guy going to do? And then I would start playing, and they'd be like, oh, this is great. I'm not missing any of the other stuff. And so the band didn't invite me back out, which there were, we had a little bit of differences, but not really. one of their managers was like, I don't know. You see this hate that I get in cigars?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
always had that
Don't
thing.
worry, we'll talk about that.
I've always had that thing.
Niche.
You either love me or you hate me.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
There's no gray area with
Right. And normal, when I'm being humble, I sit around and think, well, what could I have done differently? And I could see why someone wouldn't like me because of this or that. But in the end, it comes back to animosity and jealousy.
Yeah.
And you don't just hate someone right off the bat because of something they did. It's you're fucking jealous. And it is what it is. We're all jealous in some way of someone. It happens. A good person tries not to let that overpower that relationship.
you. Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
We all
You
grow up
walk
with
into a room, you might be with your girlfriend, you see a guy, he's, oh shit, this guy, I'm not going to treat him poorly because he's better looking than me or I'm intimidated or what. You treat everyone with the same merit, that you deserve.
Right.
And as long as they give you that, reciprocating, then great.
Yeah.
But I've always had people jealous of me right off the bat.
Yeah.
Is that because of how I don't know. It is what it is. I feel like I'm also lucky to have that because it makes me stand out. I was groomed to be a little superstar. You're supposed to be able to walk into a room and attract, you know what I mean? So like that's part of being a musician or the lead singer.
Yeah.
So, who were we talking about? I lost track.
You.
Yeah,
Well,
but
so
what-
the big
Oh yeah, so no, they didn't invite me back out, and
Yeah.
then they stripped away half their band. You understand what I'm saying? So they saw me come out with and nobody get mad at me out there. If anyone, I'm not blaming anyone. You guys, we're all just trying to survive here. But they didn't invite me back out, and then they borrowed. They had a whole 6-7 piece band. They had rhythm guitarists and everything, and then they were like, let's get rid of like half the band. Because they saw me go out
Yeah.
there with just a drummer. And they were like, he's going to work with just a drummer. We don't have to pay all these guys?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
So they didn't want me to come back out to watch them sort of borrow some of my stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how other people in the band felt. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Well,
But-
and I mean, shoot, like what you said, you've been ahead of the times. So when you start coming up with these ideas that people have never thought about, and it starts working, the whole industry is going to follow you.
You know what I'm lucky about in cigar industry is they're too proud to do that. Yeah,
Oh, that is,
yeah,
dude. That
It's
is
great.
one thing that
It's amazing.
when the cameras are off after an episode, and Joe Kenny will sit there and just tell us like the craziest fucking
Yeah,
stories.
yeah.
And just like these guys, like the cigar industry is the pettiest shit.
Yeah.
you'll ever come.
Yeah,
across.
they're too proud to like blatantly take anything that I do. Like the LCA, you got some new guys that are trying to run their business like the LCA, but they don't know what they're doing. No offense. Because we know we made mistakes. We know what works and what
Oh,
doesn't
sure.
work. And so we watch these younger guys try to like create this thing. And by the way, I wasn't the first. Like kind of Viaje was kind of doing this, but it was more like a semi-annual thing where he would just like put out a bunch of products and like you're either in the thing and you guarantee that you're going to buy it or you don't. And that's really not how the LCA actually works. But anyway, we're a monthly drop. I stole my idea from Supreme. I was living in LA. I was walking on Fairfax. Every Thursday, there was a line of kids camped out. And I was like, what is this for a t-shirt? Yeah, they're going to resell it and make money. Okay, so they're here for money. They're here for an easy dollar, which is really not an easy. You could work those amount of hours that you waited in front of the store and you'd make more money.
Yeah.
But like people like to feel, that's great. So I said, I want cigar culture to look like that. That's how I'll know I had an impact and we're doing good and we're staying current.
Yeah.
Because it's not a current industry, and that's sort of cool too that it's not a current. It's still a traditional thing, but nonetheless, I was just trying to figure out how to like bring youth to this, and that was one of the ideas I came up with. But no one's gonna do this. No one's gonna do it. Who's gonna try? When I got into this industry, it was either you're online or you're brick and mortar, and if you try to do both, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's a war between online and brick and mortar. And brick and mortar knows that online's beating them, but damn it, they're going to try their best, which is crazy to me because then they buy products from the same company that's going to put them out of business. You
Yeah.
understand? When you buy products from Altadis, when you buy products, these are your Romeos, your Monte Cristos, as a shop, you're putting yourself out of business because these guys are going to put up a CI.
Yeah.
They don't care where it is. It could be Hamburg, Pennsylvania, the middle of nowhere. They'll just put one up. They put one in Cincinnati. They got 15 of them now, and that's the only way that they're growing. And these companies are grow by any means, so they're going to continue to do this. And if you're selling their products and getting your people used to their products, they're just going to end up at CI.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. So I said, Clark, my buddy Clark at the time was like, we're never going to be able to introduce this. But then COVID came and they were shut down. Yeah. And I said, well, we don't even need people in the store. They can sell to them like outside, like a drive-through window kind of thing. We should introduce, now's the perfect time. I've had really great timing. That's where the luck has come in a lot.
Sure.
If I tried to start Privada now, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I'm confident in that. It wouldn't work. I got very lucky with timing of YouTube and everything that before they realized what the fuck was going on, which was we turned YouTube into our own thing.
Yeah, yeah.
They set it up to get advertising dollars. Then we came in and we said, we could just get our own advertisers.
You're right.
That's what happened.
You're right.
And then they go, whoa, these guys are all getting paid and we're not. We put billions of dollars into this. It's time to figure out how to cut them out through the algorithm. That's why all these guys you saw the last 2 years, I'm quitting YouTube. My channel's not doing, you know, I was like, yeah, dude, we took their money. We took their revenue.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think that's luck, though. I think that's, you've got something inside you that, because, I mean, again, it wasn't just like, oh, this is the time to market. You also knew how to market.
So you're talking about execution. And so people have this question is it luck or is it execution? And the truth is you need both.
Yeah.
So without the luck, execution doesn't matter. And without the execution, you wasted that luck.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a billion times. I see it every day. Wasted opportunity. Yeah. And so I did not. Yo, bro, I was so grateful. I lived my life. Another thing, if you want to know about me as a person, even like before we went on the interview, like I got this whole new ritual thing that I'm doing because I was in a slump this year. I stopped drinking alcohol like 2 years ago. I was like, I went through a lot, like mentally over the last. It didn't start until like month 12. I started to just feel like anxious all the time and weird, and it's your brain recalibrating, right? And so I went through a lot. I was in a slump, and I was always gratitude. You ever see The Secret?
Yeah.
I used to watch The Secret every day for like 5 minutes. I would just get a little piece of it every day before I started my day because gratitude is the most important thing. If you want to build, if you want to grow, gratitude is the foundation of all of that. The universe is a mirror, okay? And if you're in a slump, the universe is going to give you more of that. You have to literally be able to brainwash yourself into believing that you are a success and everything is going your way right now, even when it's not. That's the only way to snap out of those things. And like, I just like every year or two, like I'll just dive into that again and figure out a new way. Oh, wait, there's a guy with this thing. He does this. You know, every time I do this, you start to brainwash. Every time I do this, I'm opening up my, you know, whatever. But you'll find your own rituals and stuff. It is a mirror. You have to believe that things are going your way, even when they're not, especially when they're not.
Well, and so that's actually, so we're both Christian, and there's actually a Bible verse that says, in fact, it's a parable that Christ says that everyone who has more will be given. Everyone who doesn't have less will be given. And it's actually, I heard it talked about like how it's a mental switch, how you have to actually frame your mind in a frame of gratitude.
Yeah.
To where it's like, hey, I actually have everything I have.
Yeah.
Thank you that I have everything that I have.
Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, that I have everything that I have. And I'm going to use everything I have to try to benefit other people.
Yeah.
And then more will be given.
Yeah.
Because you've been shown that you're responsible with what you have.
Yeah.
So more will be given. But if you're not responsible with what you've been given, why would God give you more?
Of course. Of course.
And then you sit on your ass and you're like, well, wait a minute. I thought you were all knowing. And why aren't you because you got to show effort. You got to show that you're actually worthy of what's being given to you.
The law of attraction is a great way of non-denominalizing what the real source is, which is your higher power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to call it the universe, you want to call it attraction, you want to call it, but it's God. For me, I mean, that's what it comes. That's my opinion. These are all my opinions. I was not a religious person, but I do believe in God. I pray every day. I know that's what the source is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm lucky that I was able to figure this stuff out. Most people don't figure this stuff out.
Most
spend
people
their
don't care
lives-
to try to figure it out.
That's true too.
Yeah.
That's true too. You know what happened with me was I watched The Secret when I was about 28, and I quit cigarettes the next day. I had been trying to quit for.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I've been smoking since I was like 12. Newports. that tells you everything you need to know. I eventually went to like Parliaments and Marlboro Lights and shit, but like mostly Newport during my smoking career. And I watched The Secret, and the next day, and then I started to realize through practicing some of that stuff is that this is God. It's God.
Yeah.
It's your higher power. Like I don't want to turn this into a thing, but
Yeah.
Well,
hey, yeah.
I just will let you know. Like this is.
Go ahead. Turn it into a thing.
Okay.
We're a Christian
Okay,
podcast.
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm just lucky that I figured it out. I do, I pray every day. I'm Jewish.
Okay.
We have the same book. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It is the same book. Like, I didn't know that until like 3 years ago. I was like, it's the Torah.
Yeah.
It's the Old Testament. We just don't have the New Testament.
Right.
So we literally have the same book.
Yeah.
And
So
even the Muslim thing, like, bro, I know everyone's so afraid of Muslim people. It's really what's going on in this country right now. That's the whole thing. Is like, when you really break it down, it comes down to like white Americans being very afraid of what's happening in Europe happening here.
Yeah.
And it's understandable. No one wants what they have to change.
Yeah.
No one likes change.
Yeah.
Okay? But that's what all this is about.
Yeah.
People say, oh, it's about racism, but it's not about black and white anymore. It's about, and it is in some ways, but it's really like when you watch Fox and you watch all this stuff, like it's about, hey, they don't want Muslims taking over America.
Yeah.
And again, it's understandable, but we also need to understand that this has been the story of America at every step of the way. It was the Italians, then it was the Jews, then it was the Irish, then they were throwing rocks at them at the port when they would get off the boat. No one wants someone coming in and taking a piece of what they have. And it's the same thing in the cigar industry. They see me coming and they go, well, how the hell is this guy going direct to consumer and he's getting the love of the people? We got to stop this. And they tried to stop that.
Yeah.
And so that's where this bad boy rebellious thing came from. And the only thing I can say to that was, I knew that would be a plus, not a minus.
Yeah.
I also knew I was going to lose certain privileges by taking on that role. Like as soon as that was available to me, I grabbed that jersey and put it on.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't want to just turn this into cigars for a second, because we talked about something that's kind of polarizing, and maybe people would watch this and go, well, what about it? And like my take is that like, it's probably the same take that I have on the cigar industry, is that I'm really not taking your pie. And while we don't want to be stupid, we do have to come from a position of abundance, because this position of there's a limited amount of resources, there's not. We haven't reached that point as human beings yet. There is not a limited if we shared as human beings, we'd all be we'd live very wealthy lifestyles. There's enough for everyone to go around. This idea that there is a pie, and if you get a quarter of it and someone else comes in, that I have 0 of Carlito Fuentes customers. They don't want me. Okay? You know who I do have? I have like 10,000 guys that were sort of wanting to get into cigars, but really weren't. And now they're really into cigars because of me, or because of Privada, or because, and I'm sure there are other people in this movement, this boutique thing, whatever, that they got into cigars sort of influenced by, and now they really love it, but they weren't here 10 years ago. So I didn't take your customer. And it's the same thing with immigrants coming in. There's supposed to be a natural order of progression of the jobs that people that are new here do, right? And we are starting to, as an economy, we're overlapping a bit, right? Because AI is screwing everyone. And so AI and inflation economics, all this stuff, you're starting to, for the first generation, I would say the millennial generation was the first generation that had people in it that were like, I'm just not going to work.
Oh, dude.
Well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Bro, I let me tell you something. 1997, I'm a high school dropout. I'm making $65,000 a year selling cell phones for Cellular One in Reading, Pennsylvania. That was enough to raise a family of 3.
Yeah.
And put kids through college and own a home. Okay? I'm like 18 years old.
Yeah.
Okay? I then moved back to New York. I'm making 90, 100 grand a year, no degree, all sales, all natural ability, and I'm sitting next to guys that they were much better.
Yeah.
And we're doing well. World Trade happens, .com bubble bursts. That was our first big tragedy, right? But mind you, we grew up with tragedies like this generation. Like I'm like the youngest Gen X, oldest millennial. So like we had the Challenger. Like we got a lot of doses of reality that were like, ooh, that's not good for kids. They're like, they got us in the gymnasium. We got the TV on. We got the first teachers going, and that shit just broke apart. And we were like, what happened? And they're like, I don't know, but we got to go back to class. Like they have no like HR back then. They're like, what?
Wait a minute, I got literature after this.
Yeah, and then. Coming out of high school, we had 9/11.
Yeah.
I was in Manhattan on 9/11.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I watched that building fall down.
Oh, my God.
I could just burst into tears.
Yeah.
I was on Fifth Avenue, and I didn't realize I was at Bryant Park. You could see from Fifth Avenue clearly. You could see those towers. Let me tell you something. They could build twice the world's tallest building again. Nothing will ever tower over New York City like those twin fucking towers. It's such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
It's like mind-boggling. I don't know, maybe it's nostalgia talking, but when I see it now in movies or pictures, I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they were beautiful buildings. I'm just saying they were like hulking.
Yeah.
And that new thing looks like some evil empire, like, it's something out of Spider-Man, like, right? It's like the
Star Wars.
evil guy at the top.
Oscorp.
Like, right? Yeah, bro. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. And so I was in New York on 9/11, and we couldn't get off the island. And so we just went to a bar and drank, and it was crazy because the towers are coming down, and Bryant Park was having Fashion Week, and me and a couple of my friends we're still checking out models, right? And it's like the fucking world's ending, but we're still like, damn. It's like like whack. I always found that to be so interesting. Like literally, you could have told me at that moment, hey, the whole country is about to explode. Like these guys, whoever did this, is detonating, and we were still checking out chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's weird how the man's mind works.
It's just it's survival. It's something bad happens and your brain's like, I gotta find something to distract myself.
Yeah.
I gotta just pretend like it's not going on.
Sure, but I remember that it came down, and I remember a smell of gas coming through the sewers, and I was like, oh no, like it's not just gonna stop there. Like it's gonna go through this. I don't know what, but let's get out of here. So we waited and waited and waited. Finally, they opened the city back up when we got to get out. That was a defining moment in my life.
Yeah.
I left that moment and I said, you know what? Life's pretty short, man. I'm going to do what I want to do, and being some corporate douche isn't it.
Yeah.
And I left, although it was a lot of fun, man. Manhattan in the early 2000s as a young single person, like, wow. It was fun. There was a lot going on. There was just like action. Everyone comes to that city looking for action.
Yeah.
They're making their movie.
Yeah.
They are making a movie in their minds. And this has got to last them the rest of their lives, because your 20s are, into your 30s that's your time.
Right.
So, anyway, yes, there is enough for everyone to go around.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too political or too religious even. Find your own spiritual thing. Don't make it about theater, A lot of people doing that now, especially politicians. They make it's a theater, it's a show. I don't need to know every one of your beliefs, and you don't need to quote things from me to believe that you're a good person. I need to see your actions.
Yeah.
I also need to see who you're taking money from. So when it comes to politics, a lot of people think I'm very liberal, and I'm not. In fact, I was becoming a Republican. I come from a liberal background. I'm from New York.
Yeah, sure.
But you grow up You make money, you start a business, you go, oh, well, screw this, that's for poor. No offense. You get rich and you become Republican. That's the American dream, right? And I was on that American dream, and then it got wacky.
Yeah,
Everything just got wacky, and now I'm just a complete centrist.
Yep.
I've seen what happens when Democrats run a place. I've seen what happens when Republicans run a place. And I could tell you my opinion if you want it.
Send it.
And people are gonna freak out, man. And I don't care, dude. Cigar, don't confuse my cigars for my politics.
The biggest thing is we're sitting here having fun. That's
Yeah.
all.
A lot of people probably won't. Federal Democrat, state Republican, because the state is what really runs you.
100%.
Okay. Federal, you want them to be a little like, we should give to the poor and we should not start this war because of it, whatever. Again, we got people that are programmed by fake stuff, so I don't want to get too crazy here, but that's how I see it. If you got to use the system that we have in place where we really only have two parties, federal level, you can stay with Democrats. State cannot be Democrat. State Democrat will take your money. They will prevent you from starting business, and that's the beauty of the Republican Party is it's really for business.
Yeah.
So, but mixing religion and politics was what this country was built on not doing. I just want to point that out too. So when I hear my politicians giving me a dose of, a sermon, I go, I don't know about this.
I got some red flags.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm
and-
not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying separation of church and state is what the whole thing was built on.
Yeah.
Well, and not just that. I mean, I love history. History's a big love of mine.
Me too.
George Washington explicitly stated in his farewell thing, do not create a
parties.
party system.
Do not create two parties.
It will end everything we have built.
Yep.
And we didn't listen to this one thing. Can
Nope.
you believe that they were this brilliant that these things that they created then?
George Washington, I love how Shane Gillis puts it. He was a 6'2" retarded redhead. with horse
wooden
and donkey
teeth.
running around kicking British ass. And yet he had the forethought to go, hey, listen, guys, let's act as like an entire country in and of itself.
Yeah.
United States, let's stay united. Let's not do a two-party system because what does that do? That disunites us.
Yeah.
That completely, that gets rid of the whole
Gangs.
unified things.
Yeah. It gangs everything up.
So my wife just read an article about Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
The Pilgrims. This all goes back to there were two or three ships, and the two ships had total different beliefs. The ones were all about England, and the other one was kind of there because they were being persecuted for their religion.
in England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it goes back that far to these two ships that showed up. So it's always kind of been here, but he's right. And the ability that these guys had to be this brilliant to set up something that lasted 200. No democracy in the world has ever lasted 250 years.
No.
I mean it's unbelievable. And I on one hand, I'm doomsday with this shit. I'm like, there's no good place this is going. But on the other hand, I do believe in hope and people, and I think that with strong leadership, which I don't know who that's gonna. We need daddy. We need a dad.
Yeah.
We need a good coach dad. He's got to be tough. He's got to tell us when to put the conspiracy stuff away and when it's time to heal and love other people, even if they don't have your same beliefs.
He also can't be bought.
He can't be paid for.
Yeah.
Now, that right there ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
You just said it. It's not about religion. It's not about any. It's about who your best interest. You're supposed to be representing people, but they're no longer doing that. They're representing whoever's paying them enough.
I was going to say they represent money.
When I went to go see the PCA, you guys know about my PCA experience?
I want to hear about it from your
Oh,
lips.
fucking DC is the worst place. Bro, holy shit.
I've heard that from
I
a
walk
lot of
into
people.
DC and I'm like, first I remember being here as a kid. I remember terrible homelessness, but I remember being here as a kid. I remember the Smithsonian, these museums are world class. They're free. There's no charge. There's no, well, if you want to be a donor, none of that. You just walk in and go see me. It's amazing. But we were on Capitol Hill, and you could feel the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I'm a business guy. I'm an entrepreneur, and everywhere I go, I'm looking at systems, right? We went to a restaurant last night, Belleria Pizzeria over here. It's not far from here. The place was run magnificently. You wouldn't expect this in the middle of Ohio that has kids running it. And the kids are so outgoing, which no kids are anymore. They're 18-year-olds that are so outgoing. And I pulled the manager aside. I said, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but it's excellence. This is excellence.
Yeah.
I said, how are you getting young people to be outgoing? He said, it's very difficult. I didn't ask him. He didn't want to tell me either. I could tell he didn't want to tell me what the secret. Who knows what it is. But it was, I'm always looking at. My dad had a small hotel, Ramada Inn in Whitehall, Pennsylvania, when he got out of the hat business. I was a bad student, as you heard. And I ended up just basically working for him. I've been bartending since I was about 14. Yep. Okay, and I was bartending for truck drivers, and they had contracts with CP Rail, the railroad guys, and truck drivers. These are the crudest people you'll ever meet in your life. Yeah. And they've been beating me up since I was like 14, 15 years old from you fucking Jew, and I mean, just like there was nothing was off limits back then, right? You faggot, it was crazy, like that. And at first, I would just blush. I didn't know how to respond, but it made me very quick-witted.
Yeah.
Having to deal with these grown-ass men that were just annihilating people.
Oh, yeah.
And I figured it out, and I would start. And I have my own strategy now. When I see a guy like that, I know exactly what to do right off the bat to disarm them. And so like it made me very good at dealing with people, especially aggressive people. And I also know that aggressive doesn't always mean that you're a bad person. It means that you come from a shitty environment and it's like hurt or be hurt kind of thing. And so I can try to disarm that in a way that's gentle, and then you'll respect me, and then we can move on from there and just be friends instead of punching bags.
So your experience growing up, how did that, and we don't have to go too long about this, but like your family life. You're a family man now, married with a kid. Yeah,
I mean, look, if my dad watches, my dad's cool, but he's like older brother. He was not like a dad. Yeah. Cool dude. Love him.
Yeah.
He's not a family guy.
Yeah.
Thinks he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
I was a latchkey kid. I've been home alone since I was like 6 or 8, somewhere in there. So I had no family life. The family that I did find was I hung out with a bunch of Puerto Ricans in downtown Allentown, and I would hang out at their families' homes.
Well, they know how to do family.
Yeah, they do know how to do family. It can get a little violent, but they're very. I mean, the guys I grew up with, I was always talking about a fight or fighting and arguing, and but the love of family and culture, and I fell in love with that. I was like, damn, this is what I'm missing.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I gravitated towards that. And shout out to all my Boricuas out there. In fact, I actually think we're going to get a visit from the guys from Luteria that grew the Cuban, the Puerto Rican tobacco that we made the Puerto Rican cigar. I think they're here. They're trying to surprise me, but they're posting everything on Instagram so I can see where they are. They're in Pennsylvania. I'm guessing they're on their way here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to a surprise party. Your wife's like, come on, we got a surprise party to go to.
So, well, I got lost off track.
I
had no family. I had no family, and then I watched that family, and then a lot of what I noticed about a lot of kids that grow up like me is they did the opposite of what their parents did. They hate their parents so much that they're like, I'm not going to be like that. Yeah. And by the way, that's the thing that kept me from becoming a full-blown drug addict, was seeing that my mother was a full-blown drug addict, and I was like, I'm never going to be that. So every time I felt like something was getting a hold of me, I was like, nah, stop. We got to stop. Cold turkey. So that's so I think it made me a great family person, especially, and by the way, it makes me hate my parents much more than I already did when I do look at my kid and I go, my kid's 8 years old, they were leaving this alone? How dare you? This is a child.
Yeah.
I'll never understand that. It's so upsetting to me how some kids are raised. So I'm overdoing it maybe.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a good thing. It's
Yeah.
a good thing. I love this kid so much, and I love my wife and what we've created, and I'm just so blessed.
Yeah.
And yeah. And by the way, I always think about everything ending all the time. Not my family, but the business. I'm always thinking about this business and this is why I work so hard, because I'm like, this is gonna get this is too good to be true. It's gonna get taken away from me at some point. I'm gonna max out. We're going balls to the wall.
Yeah.
We're gonna strike while the iron's hot. And in fact, the first 5 years were like that. The second 2 years were depressing because my mic got shut off.
Yeah.
The algorithm changed. Tobacco was no longer a thing. I had been reported to death. You can tell me that my page is not shadow banned. There's something wrong with my pages.
100%.
Yeah. And, so I went through like 2 years where I was like, man, I guess I'll just focus on the monthly box, the artwork, the relationships,
Yeah.
And so, but then like a year ago, all of a sudden my mic was it's not on full blast.
Oh, sure.
But it's, we're at like a 4 or 5 right now, and I can live with that. That's enough. And by the way, we're in tobacco. Even though this tobacco is different than every other tobacco, we're still in tobacco. I don't blame these lefty Google and all this. Like, I get it, but it's stupid. I get it, but it's stupid.
Yeah.
Also, like, guys aren't out here like with cigarettes, like, hashtag Marlboro. Like, I'm sure that is a thing. It's probably got like a billion hashtags. Not that I'm saying it, but like, like, I'm just saying, like, they're not doing, like, we're different. We're a subculture.
Yeah.
We're a culture. We're a small niche thing,
Well, so a cigarette you do to get a quick nicotine buzz so that way you can keep going through your
Yeah.
day. Cigar, it's more of a reflective experience.
Of course. And you're not inhaling. It's not bad for you.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't tell me this stuff's bad for you.
No.
I've done all the studies. So let me tell you a few things that I did. Number one, cigarette tobacco. They're dipping it in ammonia. They need the ammonia because the ammonia allows the nicotine to be twice as powerful or more powerful. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So they put it back in afterwards. We try to ferment a lot of the ammonia out of it. By the way, you don't want all the ammonia gone.
No.
Okay? All right. So if you do, you have the most mild cigar you've ever had and you won't like it. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, there are 2 different types of tobaccos. Okay? That's burley, which someone puts in their stuff. I don't know why, but we use what's called black tobacco, which is cigar tobacco. It's thicker, it's different, it's fermented differently, the whole thing. Okay. By the way, I think we should talk about that too, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And then the other difference is you're not inhaling, right? And natural tobacco is not bad for you, man. It's been used medicinally forever. So it's not the same thing. There was something else I wanted to add to that. I'm forgetting what it is. I thought I was going to just give
Send
you
it
something to, I was going to blow your mind.
Something
with
that literally is going to make you shit yourself.
Exactly.
Just-
what was the statement? Do you remember the statement that you made?
It's a reflective experience. Cigars are meant to be, or about cigarettes.
Yeah.
You're ripping to try to hit that nicotine so
Right.
that way you can get
Right.
you can keep going through your day.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone I knew, especially I'm only 29, but
Wow.
everyone I know that has been ripping darts has
Yeah.
been people who are in the hospitality industry
Yeah.
who are literally just
How
they're
about,
in the middle of
how about the medical industry? They smoke just as much as bartenders and waitresses.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just someone who's got a high stress,
Yeah.
high volume type of job, and they're just trying to.
Davidoff used to make this cool ass cigar, man. This is the cigar that made me fall in love with Davidoff. It's this big. It's called Entreacto. And so the band itself, the Davidoff white label band, is so classy,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
It makes you think about like what I think a lot of people think about when they think about cigars. This Kirby Allison lifestyle, right? It's like, that doesn't exist. Okay. Except for him. I don't know how he does it, but it's like, okay. So the Entreacto is like this big, and it means in between acts. It's for the opera. And you bring it for in between at the, what do they call that when you take
Intermission.
a intermission?
Intermission,
Yeah.
Oh, I like
And I
that.
just love that.
Yeah.
And they have it. They call it, they made it its own Vitola. It's called the Entreacto.
That's
And
awesome.
it's just beautiful, man. Yeah.
Is that where the idea for the Elfine came from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just stole it right away. Yeah. No, but no, here's where, okay, here's the truth. Here's the truth. Truth is, Chico Rivas comes to my house one day, and we're smoking all these cigars, and we fall in love with him. And he has this little cigar. It's not a cigarillo. It's bigger than that, right? But he has this small cigar. And at the end of the night, we smoked like 3 cigars. So I'm like, I kind of don't want another cigar. And also, cigars start to get really mild to me after a few cigars.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, no, this is the one. This is how I end my night. And so he gives me this cigar, and we smoke it. And it was like smoking the first cigar of the night. It was just crisp. And by the way, it's not like overdone tobacco. It's not like Nicaraguan powerhouse tobaccos. For whatever reason, it just hits the palate a certain way after other cigars. So I was like, I always loved that at the end of like French movies that have Elfine, like the end. And I was like, we should call this Elfine. And he was like, yeah, but you're not going to want to make it. And I said, why? He said, because I basically have to charge the same thing as a regular cigar, and no one wants to buy this. And so I was crazy enough to go, okay, we won't make that cigar again. So if you can find them, great. But I have to charge, $6, something like that. And I'm not breaking even, but I'm not doing great on it.
Yeah.
It's cost me as much to me, and no one wants that anymore. People want value, and it's understandable with the economy and everything like that. You need something of value. Cigars are the last approachable luxury for the working class person.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. What other luxury product? By the way, I got a Rolex on, not to show off, right? It's a Rolex.
Oh, I noticed. I know.
You remember Die Hard?
Yeah.
Dude, you see it? It's a Rolex, baby. I bought her a Rolex. A Rolex takes 1 year, which I don't even believe, to make. Okay? A cigar takes like 3 years.
Yeah.
From seed to cigar. There's 300 hands, I think 50 hands touch a watch, a nice watch. This is a luxury product that takes years to make, and we take it for complete granted. No matter how much you appreciate it, you can't appreciate it that much.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's a luxury product in that sense. And then when I take it and I age it, to me, it makes it even more luxurious of an experience and something that's exclusive. And then you name me another luxury item that's handmade that takes this long to make that you can buy for $12. It just is. So this is the last one. So champagne, I would say, is an approachable luxury too. You got to be willing to spend $60 on a reasonably good champagne. Bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These. Yeah, I know. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So, it's the last approachable luxury that a guy who actually works a shift and gets off and can come into a lounge or go home and have a cigar and feel good, and that's sad. This is, I don't even know how much longer it's going to be approachable.
The way I look at cigars is the same way I look at gummy bears.
Hold on.
Stay with me. So
this is the real here. You cut this up. That's the statement. Now go.
I heard this from a bodybuilder, and I loved it. So I actually took it from him. But he was like, listen, there's no nutritional value to gummy bears at all, because he would pop 2 gummy bears before he works out.
Yeah.
And this guy's absolutely massive. Does a lot of steroids. But regardless, he goes, I pop a couple gummy bears. I take a lot of steroids. The gummy bears help soothe me before a workout. He's like, I can't be an asshole. I just had gummy bears.
Yeah.
Same thing with a cigar.
Interesting.
If you're an asshole after having one of these, you're an asshole. Same thing with gummy bears.
There's a guy named Jim Stepani who made this like amazing hardcore workout thing. This dude is
I think I've heard the name,
he's shredded beyond belief. He's got a couple of programs, but he says the day of working out that night to have like 2 or 3 gummy bears or gummy worms, the glycogen, something for your next workout. It does something good for your energy levels.
It helps rebuild your energy, musculoskeletal.
Yeah, this dude is. You got to see this guy. He's like nuts, and he's like my age too, or older.
Well, we don't want to take too much more of your time.
I mean, we got nothing going on right now. No one's here yet. Everyone's hungover because they were pre-gaming last night. But we got a lot of people coming here. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's peaceful. It's familial, it's community driven, and you can come here and meet friends and have a good time and smoke some great cigars. I hope you love the pack that I put together.
This one's
How great is that?
Dude, the Hungry Herf is outstanding.
How great is that? I love that. We got little perp. I got a miniature purple people eater.
Dude,
I got the Luliga that I threw in there because I knew he was coming, and that's aged for like 6 or 7 years. The cellophane's so brown it looks crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a great cigar. I got a bourbon barrel aged, my oldest bourbon barrel aged broadleaf. Great cigar. I got
the chicken wing.
the
Or
chicken
bucket.
wing, yeah, because they have great wings at Wings Express down here.
Yeah.
And last year I remember having, I was like, I'm gonna make a chicken wing cigar, and it slaps after like a meal like that. And I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it.
One more.
And this Figurado that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made look like a Padron, but with Jim Traficant's face on it.
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay, so everyone out there needs to go listen to this podcast.
It's on the screen. Just
Okay.
bad.
Everyone needs to go listen to this podcast called Crime City Youngstown, or it's the Crime City, but it's about Youngstown. And this is basically Youngstown. We're in the outskirt of Youngstown. And this was a hotbed for mafia activity like you've never heard of before. This was the car bombing capital of the world for over a decade. And it was Pittsburgh and Cleveland fighting for all the steel workers' gambling money for many dozens, like 3 or 4 decades. FBI was planted here permanently. Yeah, this was a real serious place. Not to glorify that stuff, but it's very interesting. And when you listen to this thing, it's amazing. And Jim Traficant, he was kind of like Trump before Trump. Outspoken, said what he wanted to say, actually fought with the federal government, represented himself, and won 2 out of 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was majorly corrupt, but also you kind of had to be here,
Yeah.
right? And he did good things too. So it's this juxtaposition of like it's really crazy. And then some of the world's notorious criminals actually came from here too. There's a guy who supposedly robbed a bank it was like one of the biggest bank heists ever, and they were like a roofing company from here. And
shit.
Yeah, and then there's just a whole bunch of stuff. Then there's another guy that's in the prison, right? There's a prison over here, and it's just it is madness. They could make this into a miniseries that lasts 7 to 8 seasons. It's like truly incredible.
Just call it Youngstown.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I just want to say we're in the Rust Belt. How beautiful is this in the summer, man?
Oh,
It's gorgeous.
it's
It's
unreal.
peace too. There's peace here.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that during COVID, I mean, we got this whole strip, this Rust Belt. It goes from Wisconsin. Wisconsin's where it gets wealthy, right? So like right before Wisconsin, all the way down to basically Philadelphia. Okay, we have this Rust Belt. I mean, you can go to Shendo right now or Monoy City in Pennsylvania and get a little row home for 15 grand. I don't know what they cost now, maybe like 30 grand, right? But like, I was hoping that during COVID, a lot of people would start moving back to these places because all you really need now is the internet.
Yeah.
Right? You can work from home. You can do a million different things from your house. And unfortunately, while it did see some regrowth, but I highly recommend anyone out there that feels like they're struggling or like they're just not sure how they're going to ever make ends meet, you need to come to a place like this and see that there is still an affordable lifestyle out there. Finding work is going to be the difficult part, but online, customer service, I mean, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
Brian, this has been, my God, dude. Like,
Did I live up to
Oh,
your
fuck.
expectations?
Oh,
I hope I
man.
didn't upset anyone with all my political and religious
It
stuff.
doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah.
How
Well,
about you though? Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, man, I'm just happy
And the
to be
day's
here.
just starting.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to have people that want to interview me. It's like such a humbling experience. Like, I'm just lucky.
Yeah.
You know, I sit around thinking about this stuff all the time. I'm like, dude, what did I do? Pinch myself.
Yeah.
So and you know, to anyone out there that's listening to this, man, like, you can do big things. Like, you can, but there are some rules that you need to follow.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to figure out what those are. And in order to figure out what those are, you're going to need to read.
Yeah.
If you walk away from this with anything, if you're not where you want to be in life, you need to read.
Yeah.
That was the one good thing I did. I didn't do well in school. And I had such a chip on my shoulder because I was around all these people. And, you know, you don't hear many Jewish kids that are dropouts.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, man, these other kids, they're brilliant compared to me. They're going to Ivy League schools, some of these kids.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And so I just went in on business and self-help books.
You just weren't made for the education.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
style of
my
education.
my brain doesn't work well. Even when I go to my kids' thing, like orientation, I'm like, in 3 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here right now. They put me on a board of something at this private school my kid goes to. And first I'm like, I'm honored. Then I'm like, I got anxiety to go. I'm like, what am I nervous about? These people, they're not like the dentists. Like, who gives a shit?
I got a test next week.
But I'm like, what do I know about school and being in a place like this? And it was a whole cluster F of things that went on, and you know, I'm more educated in how to run business than most of these people that have businesses. So, and that's all from reading books. And the law of attraction, it was all from reading books. Think and Grow Rich, that's the book that all of it comes. And if you read Think and Grow Rich, which is the original secret, it tells you every one of these things comes from the Bible, just like you quoted. It'll tell you what verses they come from. So this is all ancient knowledge, but we forgot it. And I hate to say it, but last year when I turned 46, I finally understood why education was important. My whole life I've been like, I'm like every other American. You hear a guy who wants to be president talk about education, you tune out. All you want to know about is the economy.
Yeah.
You know?
What's going to happen to my money?
Yeah, education. Who do I give a shit? I'm not going to Harvard. What do I care, right? But guess what? It's more important than money.
Yeah.
You'll have money if you have an educated society. What you'll get if you get an uneducated society is people being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, we're there. We're brainwashed. It's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, don't want to talk about that. Cigars. Isn't that a company? Cigars. Okay, no, not them. Privada Cigar Club and the Limited Cigar Association, bringing life back to some brick and mortars. And man, the LCA is going crazy.
Yeah,
it's going nuts.
It's good.
You know what's crazy about it is you watch a brand grow, and doesn't grow how you think it's gonna grow. We have all these shops that were like die-hard Privada guys. And then I'm following up with some of these shops, and it's like, yeah, we're still selling your stuff. But then there's 100 new shops that are crazy about us.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I need you. No, you don't. This is how it grows. And guess what? One day, if I'm lucky, some young cigar smokers are going to go, I'll never smoke, the same way we talk about Rocky Patel. I'll never smoke a Privada cigar because I wouldn't smoke that if you gave it to me for free. That's when you're selling 15 million cigars a year.
Yeah.
Which is how many cigars or more that guy sells.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he makes per cigar, but holy shit, 15, even if it's a dime.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. I'm sure cigars are fine. But we're just in a certain culture right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And we love it.
Yeah, I love it too, man. Discovery, exploration, and then for me, aging.
Yeah.
You know, a cigar. Don't make no mistake about this. Cigars are not ready to smoke off the truck.
No.
AJ Fernandez is the only guy that can do that. You know, Blackbird actually, they do a fantastic job too. That's my superpower, by the way. I do know a lot about tobacco, but like a guy like Nick Melillo, he's got more farm time, more factory time. Dion Giolito, he's got more blending time. Right? It's not what I do. What I do is I'm the best retailer in the world because I've bought custom or legendary cigars from every single manufacturer you can name. And I know who makes them good. I know whose you got to age for a year. I know whose will never smoke good. And I've been able to weed that down to like, I hate to say it, but there's maybe 7 factories in our industry worth their weight.
Yeah.
The rest of them, one cigar is going to be awesome. The next one's going to suck. One's going to have humidity problems. One's going to have beetles. You can't deal with that shit. I'm trying to create the best service, the best cigars, a no-brainer every single time. And you got to work with the best of the best for that. So,
absolutely.
Anyway, thank you guys for having me so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming here.
I appreciate
I wish
it.
Joe would come.
I told him
He's got 6 kids. He's got 6 kids.
He's like, I'll try.
It's the best excuse too, right? You're like, of course I can't come to your birthday party. I have 6 kids.
And I got a family business.
Yeah. I'll send a check. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for joining us at the table. We are the Bourbonists. We've got Brian.
Hey, you know we made bourbon. You've had the bourbon.
Oh, we have.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.